Conservatives are melting down over Cracker Barrel's decision to provide a vegetarian option for people who dine there. Which, to be honest with you, kind of shocks me. Like if you've ever been to a Cracker Barrel, the idea that they would have a vegan anything option or vegetarian anything option does blow my mind. It's a very greasy spoon chain that I used to be forced to go to when I would visit family in Florida. Now, with that said, they announced that they're offering these interesting Impossible sausage patties, okay? So the Cracker Barrel Old Country Store posted on social media, discover new meat frontiers, experience the out of this world flavor of Impossible sausage made from plants next time you build your own breakfast. Now I wanna be clear, Cracker Barrel is still Cracker Barrel. They still have all the other animal product treats that conservatives love to enjoy, and others, you don't have to be conservative to enjoy them, of course. But just the very nature of offering this option to people who maybe don't wanna eat meat has really set them aflame. They're very upset about this. So one person writes, not going to happen. Cracker Barrel used to be good. We looked forward to eating in them, but not anymore. But Sandy, I love you, Sandy. You can still get the meat products at Cracker Barrel. Like it's just providing more options. Like more options are good. More options are good. Even if you're not interested in those options, it's good to have options.
It's authoritarian to give people options, Anna. That's exactly what the communists want.
It is authoritarian to not provide people options.
Yes, I know.
I experienced, no, I know, but like I experienced that recently and I wanna know what you think about this. I got invited to a party. It was a 4th of July party. I think that's an important detail to the story. And there were no meat options. It was all vegetarian. And no one, like, look, vegans, vegetarians, I love you brothers and sisters, okay? I love that you guys have options. I think it's important to provide options for people who do not want to eat meat. However, when I think 4th of July as a meat eater, although I have limited my meat eating to quite a small amount, I don't eat meat a lot. But when I do, it's usually gonna be at a 4th of July barbecue, right? There were like, so it was funny because I was at the table and I overheard one of the other party goers say that the hot dogs were vegan hot dogs. And it was either burgers or hot dogs. And I was like, not interested in the vegan hot dog. So I went for the burger thinking it's a normal burger. I took a bite. I was like, tastes a little different, but the guy who was throwing this party, he's an actor, very healthy. So I thought, oh, maybe it's like free range, grass fed something. And they tend to taste a little different. No, it was an Impossible burger. And I was offended.
Well, yes.
You got to at least let us know.
Oh yeah.
That you're not gonna have meat at your barbecue for the 4th of July. I'm just saying, I had a great time, but still.
Jennifer Coolidge in Legally Blonde 2 said it best, right? You look like the 4th of July, makes me want a hot dog real bad, right? And so there's nothing more associated with the 4th of July, unfortunately, probably, than actually meat. But I agree with you. You give people options, or at least let people know. But hopefully you got drunk enough that it tasted like a regular burger at the end.
Look, to be honest, it was delicious. It was delicious. It tasted different, but it was good. I was just offended that I like to make decisions for myself. And I felt like I didn't get that right. Like I didn't get that opportunity. And that's why I was like,
I could see that.
You pulled a fast one. You know,
I could see that.
It was more about that.
Maybe it was like a vegan conversion process, right? Like they don't even want you to know necessarily because they're like, look, you can't taste the difference. And I've tried an Impossible burger and you could definitely taste the difference.
Yeah, you can. And they're still delicious. Again, I don't want to take away from that. But yeah, I like having options. And in this case, you have a bunch of like conservatives like, no options. No, it's what I want, only what I want. It's okay. Kevin Kevin posted in response to all of this, send them back to Gates. I don't know what that means. We don't eat in an old country store for woke burgers.
My favorite thing is too, like the past two comments are both like, we eat in the Cracker Barrel. We don't eat at the Cracker Barrel. We don't dine at the We're embedded in the goddamn Cracker Barrel, and we want the full Cracker Barrel immersive experience. Yeah. All right, dude. Like, you could go to Harry Potter World, but I guess that's their Cracker Barrel. I don't know.
They're really up in arms about this. Dell says, "I just lost respect for a once great Tennessee company." No one's forcing you to eat the Impossible sausage patties. No one. It's just an option if you're interested. Junior Luciano says, "Impossible is correct. It is impossible for me to eat that."
Dinger.
That's fine. You're not forced to. And then here's Jerry. "Won't be eating here anymore." Okay, that's all right, Jerry. We'll all survive that. Now, others, of course, were defending Cracker Barrel's decision to do this, which, these are, people who actually have some common sense and aren't offended by other people having other preferences, which, we don't need to get into all of the comments there, but I just, I try to wrap my head around why it is that people get so triggered by things like this. And I try to be a little more understanding, right? Even though I think they're wrong, I still stand by that comment that they're wrong. But when you get older, things around you do start to change, and I think it does scare people. And they start to become nostalgic for how things were when they were kids, and they do romanticize their own childhoods or what the country was like during their childhoods. I mean, I find myself doing that sometimes, and I have to snap out of it because I'm like, oh, the 90s were so great, but they weren't. The 90s weren't that great. Okay, there were a lot of problems in the freaking 90s. But I do think that's what this is about. I think it's just fear over society changing and people becoming more conscious about what they're eating, conscious about the environment and what we're doing to it. And that makes some people uncomfortable. I think that's what this is about.
Yeah, and when other people are conscious, it makes them uncomfortable that they are choosing not to be, right? Like,
totally.
And they're just,
which I'm guilty of, by the way. Like when someone I'm eating dinner with decides like they're gonna go for the healthy options, they're watching their weight. Like I hate that. I hate those people. Don't be on a diet if you're gonna go out to dinner with me. Like it makes me feel bad about myself. That's why. It's not about you, it's about me. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna need you to eat something unhealthy.
I'll even have that when I'll be real. If I'm going out to dinner, I'm gonna get a cocktail or I'm gonna get a glass of wine. Like if I'm going out to dinner, I'm doing that experience. And part of that's because I don't ever have to drive here in New York. So I guess I don't think about it that much. But when someone's like, "I'm not gonna tonight," I'm like,
1000%.
Screw you. Like, how dare you impose, you woke moralists, onto me? Like, come on. Yeah, I mean, but it's obviously such a childish impulse. And the reality is that that's how conservatives think. They are so threatened by other people making choices that are conscious in their view and living by their own morality, that anything that deviates from the norm or how they grew up is perceived as a threat and an imposition. And actually, more than that, it's perceived as like a violation of their rights. That's how they frame it, and that's why someone like Jordan Peterson, who I just imitated there, it has salience, because like trans people, they're making their own choices and they exist. Wow, I mean that reflects on me that I can't accept them, etc. So it's just the standard reactionary mind.
I 100% agree with you on that. But I do love
Cracker Barrel. I'll say I do like cracker because I love biscuits and gravy, and I love mashed potatoes and fried chicken. Are you kidding me? I used to go like all the time. Relatives in Pennsylvania, they had them there, and
The one thing that I do really like in their menu is, I don't even know what they call it, but it's like a hash brown. It's hash browns, but it's like baked in cheese. And it's just so bad for you and so delicious. Like I love that item, and that's what I always get. And they have like the toast that they do a little hole in, and then they crack an egg in the hole. That's usually what I order because it's simple. I think it's called egg in a hole or something. It's delicious.
Straightforward.
These weird things that Southerners eat. I'm kidding. I'm sure we have that here in California somewhere.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.